I'm going to talk about Anna Knezevic. You know, this case is, it's not a case that has attracted massive media attention, but I've covered it from the beginning. I find Anna's case, I really feel it in a personal way, and I think it's because it happened in Spain. Also because it's like a stalking case, really, isn't it? It's, how I think I experienced, what I think I experienced, and I'm just lucky that I'm alive now, because I managed to get away from my stalker. But you know what? Anna couldn't have tried harder to get away from her ex-husband. She split up from her ex-husband. She couldn't have tried any harder, and he still got her. And the other thing that gets to me about Anna's case is how totally pointless it was, because nobody has profited out of this crime at all, including the perpetrator. It's just, I feel like we're at a point, and Anna's remains, of course, have not been found yet. That's what I pray for every day, that her remains are found and she's brought home to her family at least. But I identify with Anna, I think. So that's probably why I feel it in a personal way. And as you know, I cover crimes not because they're going to be, popular on the internet. I cover them because I feel emotionally involved with them. So we're going to talk about Anna Knezevic, or Hanau, which is her family name, of course. And the thing I'm going to talk about, these are articles that I found in the Spanish news, because I don't think there's been much on the American, the British, the English-speaking sort of crime channels. Not many people have covered this. Not really sure why, because to me, it's an incredible case. It's just, but maybe it just means more to me because I live in Spain, and also Anna's case, it resonates with me personally. Maybe that's why, but I don't think it's had the attention that it's deserved from all the sort of true crime channels, etc. So yeah, this is the story, of course, of Anna Knezevic, or Hanau, as she's like to be, her family like to talk about her. Anna, 40 years old, beautiful woman, as you can see, in the prime of her life. She was married to David when they were quite young. They've been married for quite a long time. And, it always makes me sad to see this photo and other photos that I've seen of Anna and Davido when they were together, when they were young. Where does it all go wrong? Where do these relationships go wrong? They obviously were in love at some point. There's evidence of that. They were enough in love to get married. Why did it all go wrong for Anna and David? And not only go wrong, but horribly wrong. I mean, a lot of relationships go wrong, don't they? But to end in murder, is just inconceivable, isn't it? So this guy, he must have been, a little bit of a psychopath. I don't know, even when he was young. But as time went on, he became more and more of a psychopath. And the crime that Anna committed was she left him. She left him, didn't she? She left him. And not only she left him, she was happy. She was happy. She was having a great life. She left him. She came all the way to Spain to get away from this man. This is his mugshot. This is Davido's mugshot. I mean, we have no recent pictures of Anna. There'll be no more photos ever taken of Anna. That's quite, when you think of it like that, isn't it? When we talk about victims and we have the photos of them up to when they died. But, Anna died nearly, what was it? Not this February just gone, but the February before. Anna's never going to have another photo taken. And neither is Davido. actually, because as I say, this is the most pointless crime in history to me. That's what makes it all the sadder. All these crimes are sad, but what did this crime achieve? Nothing. Nobody has, there's no positivity, no. Anyway, so let me just give you a brief recap of what happened in case you weren't following me when I was covering this case, which I covered from the beginning, because Anna Knezevic, or N-O, her maiden name. She was married to David. She's a Colombian national. He's a Serbian national, but they lived in Florida. So she is a U.S. citizen, as was he. They were both U.S. citizens, and they lived together happily, you might say, for quite a while in Florida. Married, successful business. I mean, business, millionaire business. I mean, their business is worth millions. God knows what's going to happen to that now, if there's ever even any money left. Had David been siphoning off the money? Is that why he didn't want to give Anna any money? Maybe there was no money left. But anyway, to all intents and purposes, Anna had a bank account with money in it from the business. So they were married. They started a business together. Was doing okay, but it seems like David, he was seeing other women. He treated Anna really badly. That's what we're going to see. And in the end, Anna, like a lot of women as they get older, because probably when she's in her 20s, 30s or whatever, but she was 40 when she went missing. I expect being 40 as well, like that milestone of the 40th birthday, it's like you start thinking, don't you? Because you've got to a sort of significant age, if you like, that you celebrate your 40th birthday and you start to think about your life. Is your life going the way you want it to go, etc.? Maybe that's why Anna finally left David. I don't know if we'll ever know the full story now. So she left him and she went to live in Spain, which of course is where I am. And I actually did go on location there to Madrid to see where the location where Anna disappeared. I've been in contact with Anna's best friend. She gave me the address and I went to the address. I did some filming there. And it was like weird how anyone could have got Anna out of that apartment, because it's like in a block of apartments. Anyway, somebody did, and we know now exactly what happened, to be honest. So Anna disappeared. Literally, she was on the phone chatting to her friends, and then she was gone, stopped answering. Strange messages came through that didn't seem to be from her, but said not only to her family and her friends in English and Spanish, saying that she'd met some guy on the street, connected instantly with them, and gone off to spend a couple of weeks with them in a holiday place just outside Madrid. None of the friends believed that could be real. And so they finally went over there and they found out that somebody had sprayed out the CCTV within the apartment. Somebody with a crash helmet on had gone in, done that, sprayed the TV, and then, but not very well, and then been seen coming out of the lift in Anna's apartment block carrying a suitcase, which it is now believed that Anna, bless her, was in that suitcase. Anna was a tiny lady, less than 5 foot tall, very slender. She would have easily fitted in a suitcase. Anyway, then it turned out it was David, her husband, his lawyer had been all over the TV saying nothing to do with him. But he was in Serbia. He'd never been to Spain. Didn't speak Spanish. Why would he go to Spain? Yeah, knew nothing about it. Blah, de, blah, de, blah, de, blah, de, blah. Anyway, then it turned out, as CCTV came out, It was David. It was clearly David in the crash helmet. He was seen buying duct tape in a hardware store just around the corner. Anyway, this might come up in what the article I'm going to read out. But all the evidence pointed to David. Turned out that David it was the one who'd got somebody to translate those messages for him. It's probably him who sent them from Anna's phone. And then David, because he's an idiot, he finally went to Florida and he was arrested as he left Florida and as he left Serbia, went to Florida. He was immediately arrested. He was initially charged with kidnapping, which of course his lawyer said, no way he's done that. Anna's alive and well somewhere. She's going to turn up one day. Anyway, then he was charged with murder as well. And then he decided to take justice into his own hands. He removed himself from this world while he was in prison. He deleted himself, but he has never said where Anna is. And probably as we speak, the FBI, the Spanish police combined are working together to try and find Anna. I'm still hopeful that one day they will find Anna's remains. Because although now, of course, the case is dissolved now because he's deleted himself. So there is no case. There will be no trial. We probably would have been undertaking the trial this month, I think, or next month, or was it July or August? Anyway, the trial was coming up. There won't be a trial now because there's nobody to try. So I don't know what works as far as that's concerned. But I think you could honestly say that the Spanish police, the FBI, etc., this is definitely a case where the people worked together. It was the Serbian police, the Colombian police, the Spanish police, and the FBI all worked together to capture this guy and build a case against him. And my opinion is this man, he has deleted himself. Let me put a picture of Anna up in the corner, actually. Normally do that, and I forgot this time. That he has deleted himself because he realised the evidence that was stacking up against him, it was too much. So he realised he couldn't get, if he thought he could get out of it, he would still be here trying to pretend he hadn't done anything. Apparently he was laughing and joking in court, wasn't he? Anyway, so what I'm going to talk to you just briefly talk about today is, I research Anna's case every single day. There's not a day that goes past that I don't look to see, has Anna been found? Is there any more developments? Is there anything? Because to me now, I feel like in a way justice has been served because David is, taking himself off from this world, has saved a lot of money with a trial. But it's not proper justice, is it? Because her family don't know where she is. He hasn't had to face people, etc. But anyway, at least he's not at liberty. So I check it every day. I always check every day to see if there's any more news about Anna. And generally there isn't. But I found this article, which I say is in the Spanish newspapers. And that's what we're going to look at. So just make sure you're all right in chat. Hi, Geordie. Yeah. There's there's so many different theories. Some people think he took her to Italy, like they've been tracing his steps. They checked in Spain. He has been to Italy as well. They've searched there, and they're searching right along the path that they think he might have been and the places that he stopped, which they'll know from his phone. But yeah, a lot of people were saying that they thought he had probably taken her to Serbia, which isn't that far away. The thing is, I think you think, oh, Serbia's a different country to Spain, obviously, but it's actually not that far away to drive to. Most of Europe is drivable. So anyway. Let's see. So let's have a look at the article. So now it's in Spanish, so I'll have to interpret it as I go along. So the voice messages of Anna Maria before she disappeared. David is a narcissist. So these are apparently what she told her friend. You know, and she's beautiful, Bluebell, you're right. She's a very beautiful woman. Just makes you so angry because she was coming into the best time of her life, really, because she was just escaping from David. You know, I'm sure she had a good time with David at one point. I'm sure they were in love at one point. But as she got older, the thing is, as you get older, you start to see through these sort of people. And I think that's what happened with Anna. She probably put up with a lot while she was younger, didn't click with a lot of it. And then as she got older, she started to click. And anyway, so apparently there was a program on the Spanish TV where they shared exclusively the audios of Anna Maria Henao. So this is quite often how she's known now, because her family don't want her to be remembered with the name Knezevic. So apparently these voice messages talk about her conflictive relationship with her husband, David. So Anna Maria disappeared on the 2nd of February in Madrid, not this year, but last year. So in 2024, she disappeared. So she's been missing, you know, a year and a half, really. But, you know, it's thought she's definitely deceased. I don't think there's any hopes whatsoever that Anna is still alive. And it's suspected that she was murdered by her husband. And the voice messages reveal the fear and the manipulation that Anna Maria suffered before her disappearance. So let's just have a look at this video. Now, of course, it'll be in Spanish. Oh, I think it's not working now. Video. Let's see. Yeah, I tried to get on it before and I can't get on the actual voice messages. But to be honest, the voice messages, it doesn't matter if you could listen to them because they're in Spanish anyway. But in one of the voice messages sent to her friend Louisiana Moreno, Anna said, "He is a narcissist, but he doesn't know it. He still does not know it. The therapists are helping me to to get over him so that his manipulation doesn't work anymore. It was important that a professional told me and that I wasn't mad." Now, you know what it's like, or maybe you do, or a lot of people, I'm sure, that are watching this video. This is what narcissists do, don't they? They make it seem as if you're mad. You know, it's you who's saying the wrong thing. It's you who's, needs a therapist. But it's them. But they're really good at that, aren't they? That is what narcissists are good at. You know, making it look as if it's you who's got mental health issues when really it's them. So she said it was important that a professional told me that and that I wasn't mad. So Louisiana, who was with Anna the day before her disappearance. So she was actually with poor Anna the day before she disappeared. She explained that her friend was psychologically and emotionally kidnapped by David. So before she was kidnapped physically, she was kidnapped. That's what sequestrada, maybe there's a better word I could use. She was taken over by David psychologically and emotionally before she was physically taken away by him. Another voice message reveals details on the therapy that Anna Maria and David were following. I advised her gave her I advised her or recommended to her a psychiatrist of psychoanalysis who worked with families and partnerships. We did therapy, 3 sessions. Oh, he had 3 sessions. I had 3 sessions. I noted that, again, he was deceiving me. He was using Tinder. So, this is just typical, isn't it? We know for a fact that he was looking for other women, because the woman, he had that other Colombian woman that he'd got in touch with, she was the one that he got to translate the messages that he sent to Anna's family and friends. So the doctors told me to tell him, the doctors told me that on telling him that we were separating, it wouldn't go well for me. They helped me to get a fair divorce. So Anna Maria was looking for a divorce in which she felt protected, but David always showed disagreement. He contested everything. Now, do you remember, those of you who've been with me for a long time, you'll remember those very first things we watched from his lawyer in America saying, oh no, it's an amicable divorce. They're not even using divorce lawyers. It's all really amicable. Of course, David's got nothing to do with her disappearance. He must feel like a right idiot now. So he stuck up with for David, which is his job, I suppose, as his lawyer. But he insisted there was no acrimony whatsoever. Anyway, Luisana Moreno affirms that Anna Maria wanted to live her life after 40 years working and making a pact with David. She wanted 50-50. The legal, but David didn't want to give her 50%. This is what makes me so angry and sad about this case. If David would have just given her 50% that she was entitled to, they would both be alive now, living their best life. Anna would be having a great time in Madrid. She'd made new friends. She was going to salsa classes. She was finding herself as a person. And David he was always moving on, it seems. Even when he was with Anna, he was, looking for different women. But he could have had a life as well. And this is what I mean when this is the most pointless case. I just feel like this is a couple who had the world at their feet. Money, good business. They could have come to still young enough to start new lives without each other. They could have started new lives. That's what Anna was trying to do. That's what David could have done. And because of David just wouldn't accept 50%, he wanted 75% of the business. There's no children involved in this case, luckily, because those poor children, they'd be orphans now, wouldn't they? God knows what's going to happen to the money that these two have left behind. And in another video that I did, you'll see that it seems like David's family knew about what he'd done. They've protected him. It'd be disgusting if they received any of Anna's money. Anyway, in another voicemail, she expressed her frustration for the two-facedness of David. So in front of the therapist, he said to me that he was going to do everything for me, but later he changed. Why do you not sort of comply with what we were talking about? I don't want So I don't want that what I deserve. This is what Anna said. I don't want that what I deserve should go to another person or used to make more money. I just want my money. None of these things interest me. And this conflict reflected the manipulation, the constant manipulation that Anna Maria suffered. So, she knew that he was trying to manipulate her, and he was trying not to give her what she deserved. But I bet she never imagined that he was actually going to murder her. I bet she never imagined that. You wouldn't think of that, would you? That he would go all the way from Serbia to Madrid and actually murder her. Anyway, Luisana also revealed that Anna Maria was scared of David and that she had suffered various panic attacks after discovering his infidelity. She always told me that David wanted to control everything. And according to Luisana, the day before her disappearance, they were both together. And, they thought David was in Miami. They thought he was still in Florida, but actually he was in Serbia. But actually, the day before Anna disappeared, he was in Madrid circling around her house, watching the day before. He was circling around. However, the next day, the security cameras captured an individual that fitted the description of David entering the edificio, the building. Sorry, I'm going to end up speaking in Spanish. So on the 1st of February, a friend visited Anna Maria, staying in her house during 5 hours before they left the building together. Makes you wonder, was David watching that? That night, Anna Marie returned alone, and that was the last time that she was seen alive. On the 2nd of February, she was seen, it said it was the last time she was seen alive. It wasn't then, was it? Anyway, never mind. So on the 2nd of February, oh God, it's gone. Sorry, it's moved down. She was seen again entering the building with some flowers in her hand, but she never left again. So why are they saying that was the last time that... Oh, it's the last time her friend saw her alive. And then on the 2nd of February, she was seen going into the building with a bunch of flowers in her hand, but she never left again, or she was never seen leaving again. She did leave. She left in the suitcase, didn't she? And that's when the next day she sent this suspicious message to a group of friends saying that she had gone off to a sort of holiday home with some guy she'd met on the street. And anyway, they all said that this was not something typical that she would do. So anyway, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is I just wanted to show you that Anna knew that David was a narcissist, but she probably never expected that he would go all the way from Serbia. She didn't even know he was in Serbia. She thought he was in Miami. She thought he was in Florida. So I just wanted to tell you about that because I found that in the Spanish. There's a lot more information on the Spanish news than there is on the other news, probably because Anna was Colombian. But she was an American citizen. So, poor Anna. And as I say, just the most pointless crime that I can think of that I've ever read about. You know what I mean? Hi, Angel. Yeah, of course 50-50 is fair. That's what she should have received, shouldn't she? But this is it. So, as I say, most pointless case I've ever seen. At the end of the day, this poor, it's just so pointless. Neither of them are here anymore. Neither of them can enjoy the money that they built up, the business they built up. It's just all come to nothing. She's deceased, he's deceased. There's still a mess left behind, who was involved from his family. Are her family ever going to get Anna Maria's remains back to bury her properly. Where is she? You know, so it's a horrible case, isn't it? You know, like, but I do feel, honestly, I don't think the Spanish police will give up, you know, along with the FBI. I don't think they will give up until they've explored every possibility of where Anna might be. They'll be following David's phone, you know, all the way along his trip. She is somewhere, they will find her somewhere at some point, hopefully. That is my hope. But of course, there's going to be no trial now. You know, I don't know what will happen now as far as all that kind of thing. But anyway. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Sorry, just need to. Okay, next case. Next thing. Again, very sad. But also, I think there is some hope. Not hope. Hope's not the right word. We're going to talk now. Let me change the picture up at the top. So, God bless Anna. I hope that she is found. Just hope and pray. And honestly, I'm not exaggerating when I say there are some cases that really get to you. Anna's case is, I feel Anna with me all the time. And I think it's because it's Spain, because it's like a stalking type case. You know, I feel really resonate with Anna's case, and there's not a day goes by that I don't think about Anna. And I mean that 100%. I don't think about her, and I just hope. I feel like she's crying out to be found. A lot of these missing people, that's how I feel. It's like they're calling out to be found. I just hope she is.